from American Public Media.
And we are live from here at Powell Hall in St. Louis. And here's your host, Chris Thile.
Ahoy! Our house band tonight includes Alex Hargraves on fiddle, Alan Hampton on bass, Chris Eldridge on guitar, Josh Dion on the drums, and Gabriel Kahane on keys. Oh, we have a wonderful, wonderful show for you. Our guests are Rachael Price, Tom Papa, Ian Edwards, Anaïs Mitchell, and the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. Live from here is supported by Noom, offering a personalized weight loss program that uses psychology and small goals to help lose weight and keep it off for good. Learn more at noom.com. And by Context Travel, offering privately guided tours in 60 cities around the world, led by local experts in art, cuisine, architecture, and more. Information at radio.contexttravel.com. And by Hint Water. Hint is water infused with fruit essences, including watermelon and blackberry. No sugar, no sweeteners, no calories. Available in grocery stores. Hint, mouth-watering water. Live from here is produced by American Public Media. And again, 50 of my newest friends and I say, ahoy! From drop-dead gorgeous Powell Symphony Hall in St. Louis, Missouri. Yes, it's exciting times here in St. Louis. Let's go Blues! No, not those blues. Not those blues. Does everything have to be about music with you guys? I'm talking about a hockey team that as of January 4th had the worst record in the NHL, and as of May 19th is headed to the Stanley Cup Finals. That's a hell of a turnaround right there. Is it the young goalie, the new coach, or is it the song? Oh, yes. Yes, maybe everything is about music. As of January 6th, when the Blues adopted Laura Branigan's 1982 hit, Gloria, as their team anthem, everything started changing. Fitting, I think, that a hockey team named after a song would use another song as a good luck charm. I mean, shall we?
Gloria, you're always on the run now, running after somebody. You gotta get them somehow. You really don't remember. Was it something that they said? All the voices in your head calling Gloria.
Oh, St. Louis woman with her diamond ring. string. Oh, it wasn't for powder and the store-bought.
Gloria,
Gloria,
I think they got your number.
Gloria,
I think they got the alias
Gloria.
that you've been living under. Gloria.
Yes, the blues season has been unforgettable, and like most contemporary memories, it has been well documented. Documented to the point where you'll be able to relive whatever parts of it you like, whenever you like, for the rest of your life in vivid HD accuracy. The other day, I was reliving a more personal moment. My little boy Calvin had his first tiny sip of wine in France last summer. And the way I tell it, a legendary winemaker gave us a half bottle from Cal's birth vintage and made us promise we'd give Cal a sip when we got home. He told us,
In Burgundy, it's customary for a child to have his first sip of wine when he's 3.
we said, well, in Brooklyn, that's child abuse. To which he replied,
Don't worry, he'll be fine.
so when we got home, we poured Calvin a roughly communion-sized portion of his wine. He was so psyched. When we drink wine, he usually gets apple cider, soft apple cider. So when he saw we were all about to drink from the same bottle, he says,
Daddy, this wine is mine?
and I said, yeah, bud, you can have a sip. So he swirls, he sniffs, just like I taught him to do with his Martinellis. And after a series of remarkable facial contortions, he says, but also,
Mama, I think I want the sweet wine now.
so I finished telling this story to our dinner companions the other night, and my wife says,
Actually, I have a video of it.
at which point I freeze in terror, because I didn't know I was going to be fact-checked in real time. I mean, I think my story was mostly true, but I do come from a long line of exaggerators, starting with my great-grandma Monette, who was born and raised right here in St. Louis, Missouri. She was a brilliant sculptor, an eccentric woman, though, Grandma Mo. No one ever really knew how old she was. She just sort of said whatever number she felt. And she also said her father helped design and build a lot of the buildings for the World's Fair here in 1904. But it's also possible, after a quick Google, that he didn't. My favorite tale of hers is how she left St. Louis, actually. I've heard 3 versions of it now: hers, my grandma's, and my dad's. Basically, she was engaged to be married to a guy she wasn't wild about, but she had a crush on the milkman, who had fallen madly in love with her. One evening, while great-grandma Monette's mom and her fiancé's mom were in the front parlor planning the wedding, the milkman, that very same milkman, came to the back door and said,
Monette, I know you don't love this guy. Let's elope to California.
and they did. And if they hadn't, I wouldn't be here, and this monologue would be much, much shorter. Now, how much of that story would an iPhone dispel? I don't know. But it would have made one hell of a viral proposal video, let me tell you. The truth is that I prefer romance with a bit of creative license. When it comes to love stories, I love the story, I love the people in it, I love the people who told it to me. My great-grandparents really did elope to San Diego, though. My question is, what on earth did they say to each other that night? And this song of the week represents my best guess, or should I say, Calvin, have you ever heard the story about how your great-grandparents got married? He whispers at the back door, this is just a trap your loving folks have set. Oh, but you don't have to spring it. Gather up your things, it's time you placed your own bets.
If I just up and left in the middle of the plan to raise our family, standing by what man I wed. My mom and his are in the parlor, talking guesses, dresses, drinks, and rings. My father asked his, then he asked my father. No one's bothered asking me. To win.
I'm after marrying a goddess, giving her just cause to bless the day we met. Yeah, we'll be in San Diego, spreading avocado on our morning toast. Yeah.
Why don't you run along and party with those movie stars and give them my regrets? My mom and his are in the parlor, on to what our children's names should be. My father asked him, then he asked my father, and that's quite enough for me.
That's it for this Humphreys, oh yeah. That I so misunderstood us as my chain was good guy like into the sun. Said
with glass crust on a cracker, and I'm kidding, packed and out a bit upset. But since you couldn't tell, I chased your love to hell, if that were where it led.
so milkman, lover boy,
It's on to California. I'm your partner. You're my pretty toy. And we're off to California. Ooh, ooh.
friends, please make very welcome the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. The St. Louis Symphony Orchestra performing the last movement from Mozart's Symphony number 35. Now please welcome to the stage the Live From Here radio players.
Game of Thrones is over. And whether you hated the ending or really hated the ending, you may now find yourself feeling empty, a void in your life, wondering what you will do this Sunday night and every Sunday night thereafter, unsure of what to rant about on the internet. There is help. Hello, I'm Dr. Helen Bunt, and I have a solution for you. It's called Go Outside. Go Outside is simple, effective, and can be taken daily. There is no pill to swallow and no need for a prescription from your doctor. Here's how it works. When you're depressed because no more dragon show, simply put on some clothes, walk to the front door, open it, and step outside. That's it. Go Outside can even be used in the safety of your own pajamas, although you may get some looks. Go Outside works even if you've never watched Game of Thrones but are simply sick of reading tweets about it. Side effects may include human contact, stronger leg muscles, increased levels of vitamin D, and a general sense of overall well-being. Side effects may also include increased contact with dog poop. If this occurs, I'm sorry about your neighbors. So stop feeling helpless that the thing you loved for 8 years ended with a finale that was a full dud. And try Go Outside. Available everywhere, except inside.
Phone's off the hook. No one knows where we are. It's been a long time since I drank champagne. The ocean is blue as your eyes. I'm gonna take it with me when I go. Old, long since gone. Now way back when we lived on Coney Island. Ain't no good thing ever dies. I'm gonna take it with me when I go. Far, far away, a train whistle blows. Wherever you're going, wherever you've been, waving goodbye at the end of the day. You're up and you're over and you're far away. Always for you and forever yours. It felt just like the old days. We fell asleep on Beulah's porch. I'm gonna take it with me when I go. All broken down by the side of the road. I was never alive or more alone. I've worn the faces off all the cards. I'm gonna take it with me when I go. Children are playing at the end of the day. Strangers are singing on our line. It's got to be more than flesh and bone. All that you love is all you've owned. In a land there's a town, and in that town there's a house, and in that house there's a woman, and in that woman there's a heart I love. I'm gonna take it with me when I go. I'm gonna take it with me when I go.
The incomparable Rachael Price with Tom Waits' Take It With Me. Time now for our local break. St. Louis boy John Hartford wrote this next song. John Hartford, hero mine, hero critters. He played a John Hartford song before the show even started. Did you catch the strains of the intention out there in Radio Land? I don't know. This is John Hartford's Good Old Days. That's Good Old Days. Oh, yeah. Someday, about 25 years from now, when we've all grown old from wondering how, well, I'll sit down at the city dump and talk about the good old days. Oh, you pass the joint and I'll pass the wine, and anything good from down the line. Saying a lot of good things went down one time back in the good old days. And the good old days are past and gone. A lot of good people done gone on. And that's my life when I sing this song about back in the good old days. Sometimes I get to thinking that we're almost done, and there ain't nothing left that we can figure out. But I guess it must have seemed a lot more like that back in the good old days. But when you gotta go, you gotta go. And there's always somebody, don't you know, just to hang around saying, well, I told you so. Back in the good old days. And the good old days are past and gone. A lot of good people have done gone on. And that's my life when I sing this song about back in the good old days. You're listening to Live from Here. Gather round when the old guitar starts to make that sound. A lot of good things went down, down, down back in the good old days. We's in love with the people that we hadn't even met. Out for anything we could get. Oh, we did it then and we'll do it yet. Back in the good old days. Yeah, the good old days are past and gone. A lot of good people have done gone on. And that's my life when I sing this song about back in the good old days. Yeah, the good old days are past and gone. A lot of good people have done gone on. And that's my life when I sing this song about back in the good old days. A song from St. Louis's own John Hartford. Welcome back to Live from Here, and welcome back our radio players.
Oh my gosh, I love coming to the Ren Faire. Oh, look at all these costumes.
Me too. Just give me one of those turkey legs you eat with your hands and a beer you could drink out of a horn, and I am happy.
Well, what do you want to do first? Watch the blacksmith or hit the axe throwing booth?
Maybe not the axes. That booth is nothing but missing fingers and toes.
Yeah. Ooh, look at this. Let's go in here.
Hello, friends. Welcome to my booth of enchantment.
All right. What are you all about?
I am the Meiselmeister.
Oh, I love it. What is that?
I vaccinate people for measles.
Oh.
Time out. Was that a thing during the Renaissance?
No, but since people these days seem to be going back to a pre-science view of the world, we thought this would be the perfect place to sign people up.
Oh, who is we?
The Missouri Department of Health.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, do you do anything other than give people shots?
Well, I do a bit of singing. I've got this lute.
Awesome.
So gather round, attend the tale of the doctor and the patient. The spotted boy cried and the doctor feared he'd not been vaccinated. The parent said, on Facebook I read, the shots make you autistic. But the doctor said, too late, he's dead. Because the boy had expired due to gross negligence by his parents who would rather listen to the advice of pseudo-celebrities and not actual healthcare providers.
Wow. You really went for it there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that last verse quite fit the rhyme scheme, but
Not at all.
Yeah, well, I'm a doctor, not a lutenist.
Oh, lutenist. Sounds like you're picking up the lingo.
Oh, yeah, well, when you work at the Ren Faire, you really got to go for it.
Yeah.
Now, shall I draw my lance and pierce thy supple shoulder to get rid of all those bad humors?
Oh, nope. We're good. I actually got vaccinated again because I live next to a guy with 9 kids and a honk if you hate the deep state bumper sticker. So
right.
I didn't want to take a chance.
Well, that's a smart idea.
Yeah.
What about you, sir?
Huh?
Mark, you've been vaccinated, right?
I was going to, but I heard they had toxins.
Oh, my God. Oh.
Okay, so now what are toxins?
You know, like little bad stuff?
Mm-hmm. So, like tiny demonic boogeymen that are swimming around in your blood?
I guess.
Right. So nearly invisible microscopic entities that can make you sick?
Mm-hmm.
So like a single-stranded, negative sense enveloped, non-segmented RNA virus?
What's that?
Measles. Here, take the shot.
Ow!
Well, as I mentioned earlier, we have the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra with us. I mean, come on. We're not messing around, are we, Gemma? This is Gemma New, the conductor.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Gemma. So first of all, you sound amazing. I guess the one of the things about great orchestras is they're generally accompanied by a great hall, and I feel that this is a great symphony hall. But then also, you're just crushing it back there, all of you. Mozart sounded fantastic. We're gonna go to a living person now. The music of a living person. He lives in London, to be precise. Tell me a little bit about Thomas Addis. He's a hero of mine, but I wanna hear from you about him.
Oh my gosh, Thomas Addis is such a genius, and he's also the coolest guy.
You've met him?
Yeah, I did last summer. It was so cool. And the thing I know about him is that he loves the French Baroque music of Couperin from the good old days. And this piece that we're gonna play.
It's good old. Good
Oh,
old.
sorry.
That's okay.
Good old days.
There it is.
Okay,
Perfect.
okay.
Just beautiful.
Thanks. Thanks, Chris.
John and Thomas would approve.
Yeah. Yeah, and so this piece is from the good old days. It's from the Baroque period where it has so much wit and charm and humor. You know, when you play on the piano, you got to get both hands moving at the same time and in coordination. And this piece is just about that, where they pass on the voice from one to the other. But he's put a contemporary twist on it, where it's for the orchestra, and all the colors of the orchestra then move about and dance together.
Yeah. Gemma, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. So different from your standard run-of-the-mill Addis piece, where so Addis, maybe check out, you could even start downloading it right now, actually. Check out his piece, Asyla. You'll hear a very different side of Addis than this, but this was, when you sent me this piece, I'd never heard this side of Addis before. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
All right, Addis's take on Couperin. Let her rip! Once again, the incredible St. Louis Symphony Orchestra with the great Thomas Addis's three studies from Cooper on the second movement of that piece. We have a very special treat for you this week. In our house band is Gabriel Kahane on the keyboard. Who also happens to be one of my dearest friends in the world. And then, Gabe, you've made a significant amount of music for and with symphony orchestras.
It's true. The song, however, that I'm going to do right now is a song that I wrote just for solo piano and voice. It comes from an album called Book of Travelers that listeners of the show may have heard a little bit of last fall. It recounts a train trip that I took in the fall of 2016, starting the morning after the presidential election. I got on a train with no phone, no internet, and I just talked to strangers for 2 weeks. And I wrote songs primarily about the people that I met, but this song, October 1st, 1939 / Port of Hamburg, is a little bit more personal.
We are traveling through a flat, beautiful landscape, writes my grandmother. Ancient forests, trees like bewitched figures, thickets of shrubs in 1939. Farmlands, small wooden houses, blue lakes, green village ponds. Her father arrested, then released. Now and then cattle, earth covered with high grasses, fake passports. Enchanting places where one would like to stop. A steamship from Hamburg to Havana. Now a small wooden church. Now a village train depot. 6 months on an island. I wish the New Orleans. I wish I could. Then a train to Los Angeles. I wish I could describe where she keeps a diary. I wish, which I read on a different train. I wish I could describe each place to you. Almost 80 years to the day. After school, they chant her name. She runs home, she prays, but called because her father couldn't quite believe what ought to have been plain to see. 2 broken glass was at their feet, and now they could not wait. Some clothes and letters in a crate. They left the cat and drove away. Steamship, wool sky, all seasick, the tide. She held her breath until at last they got across, but they weren't allowed to dock, all because the country didn't want to let those people through. Isn't that a familiar tune? I have to sing it back to you, 'cause history don't have a chance drowning down the false fat present tense. And why would you need to know anything that happened any earlier than late last week? Lucky one, she got in some paper signed by distant kin. And every night she wrote 6 postcards sent back home. And when she read the brief replies, my grandmother would start to cry. The careful script, it could not hide the fear in everyone. She read beneath the LA sun until the letters did not come. And history don't have a chance, drowning down the false fat present tense. And why would you need to know anything that happened any earlier than late last week? Than late last week? Than late last week?
Mr. Gabriel Kahane with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra led by Gemma Newell. We'll be back in the second half. And now it's time to welcome our traveling correspondent, comedian Tom Papa, in a segment we call Out in America.
Thank you, Chris. On behalf of Live From Here, I continue my journey across the country, shining a light on all the good people in America. This week, I put on my seersucker suit and jumped on a Mississippi riverboat, headed for St. Louis, Missouri. Despite intense thunderstorms that rolled through town, the week turned hot and muggy. The kind of muggy that makes you think about selling your house and moving north before August arrives. The gift I received from St. Louis was a head full of allergies. All week, I walked around like I had a wet paper towel draped over my eyes, and all my energy drained from my body through the water spout that was my nose. The beautiful spring trees are busting with new green leaves, but knowing that they were spewing pollen at my face, all I wanted was a chainsaw. Have you ever been disgusted by the guy who blows his nose like a clown in public and then realized you are that guy? I have. When you're having an allergy attack, it's amazing what you'll use as a tissue, isn't it? I'll use anything. A boarding pass, a coaster, even the paper from a plastic straw. It's the only time I'm happy that the receipt from the supermarket is a mile long. I started off downtown at a coffee shop looking for a dark roasted coffee and a lightly baked croissant and a handful of napkins. There was an older gentleman going from table to table flirting with the customers. It turned out he was the owner, and picking up women is the reason he bought the shop in the first place. He said, "Where else am I going to meet women my age? They only come out during the day, so I have to try and catch them while it's still light out. And the best part is that if we end up sleeping together, it means a nice long afternoon nap." The coffee shop was filled with people sitting at their makeshift workstations. They all had on headphones and were staring at their laptops and their smartphones like they too were just another plugged-in accessory. It made me sad to see all these people ignoring each other in favor of their devices. Didn't they realize they were slaves to technology? I wondered, how many hours does the average person waste on their phone each day? I pulled out my iPhone to Google it. But when I activated my phone, I forgot why I opened it in the first place. So I started scrolling through Instagram for no reason. I did this as I always do until I hated everyone in my life. What are we doing to ourselves with this social media? It never makes me feel better. I never get off Instagram or Facebook and think, wow, good for everyone. Because my phone apparently eavesdrops on all my conversations, it overheard me saying that I'd never been to Busch Stadium before. It sent me an alert that told me not only that the Cardinals were playing, but it opened a link to a ticket site. Have you ever been creeped out that your phone was spying on you, but at the same time felt oddly cared for? I have. As luck would have it, the Cards were playing a doubleheader against the Kansas City Royals. The first game was already underway, so I figured I'd mix in among the fans and try and score a ticket for the late game. I slipped into a bar called Patio's. It smelled like grilled sausages and was filled with all the beer-soaked baseball fans you'd ever want to meet. There was a father with his son-in-law going to their first game together, a young couple toasting that they'd gotten engaged at the stadium a year ago, and a bunch of drunk guys who skipped out on work but were still in their business khakis and their ties that occasionally dunked into their beers. As the bartender put it, St. Louis is a beer-drinking town with a baseball problem. My favorite was an old lady covered in so many pins and patches that she looked like the team mascot. Despite the heat, her lipstick matched the cardinal that sat on top of her knitted hat. Her name was Val, and she was sitting at her favorite spot at the end of the bar. She said she's been a fan for years, but only started coming to the stadium after her husband passed away. Not because she missed him, but because he was a Cubs fan. She said, we're off to a slow start, but I'm hopeful we'll get something going. I asked her how the team was doing. She said, I'm not talking about the team, sugar. I'm talking about you and me. I sneezed so hard her buttons jingled. She said, I'll take that as a yes. By the middle of the third inning, the Cards were down by 7 runs. Val said, follow me. She downed the rest of her beer, and we walked to the entrance where some discouraged fans were already leaving the stadium. Someone came up and handed us their 2 tickets. Val said, you see that? Sometimes being old and adorable is like having a superpower. It was baseball heaven. The seats were amazing, right on the first base side. It's such a great ballpark. The field is a brighter green than I've ever seen. The red brick seems to have all of baseball's history baked into its walls. A vendor recognized Val and gave us 2 free hot dogs. Another recognized her and gave us 2 free beers. She leaned over and said, so, Tom, how does it feel having a sugar mama? Have you ever kissed a senior citizen on the kiss cam at Busch Stadium just so she would... hook you up with tickets to the night game of a doubleheader? I have. Thank you, St. Louis. And until next time, this has been Tom Papa out in America. Thank you.
To find out when Tom is headed to your town, go to tompapa.com. Ladies and gentlemen, Anaïs Mitchell.
Lover, tell me if you can, who's gonna buy the wedding bands? Times being what they are, hard and getting harder all the time.
I love her when I sing my song. All the rivers sing along. And they're gonna break their banks for me. Lay their gold around my feet. All the flashing in the pan. All the fashion for your hand. The river's gonna give us the wetland.
Lover, tell me if you're able. Who's gonna lay the wedding table? Times being what they are. Dark and getting darker all the time.
Love her when I sing my song. All the trees gonna sing along and bend their branches down to me. Lay their fruit around my feet. The almonds and the apple, the sugar from the maple. The trees are gonna lay the wedding table.
Lover, tell me when we're wed. Who's gonna make the wedding bed? Times being what they are. Hard and getting harder all the time.
I love her when I sing my song. All the birds gonna sing along, and they'll come flying around to me. Lay their feathers at my feet, and we'll lie down and eider down. Pillow neath our heads, birds gonna make the wedding bed. And the trees are gonna lay the wedding table. And the river's gonna give us the wedding band.
That is the force of nature that is Anaïs Mitchell. The song is called Wedding Song. And you may know Anaïs from her musical, which is called Hadestown. Which the 12-ish years in the making, and finally on Broadway this year to the tune of 14 Tony Award nominations. Including Best Musical. Hey, first off, congratulations. That is amazing.
Thank you so much. It's super exciting because I have been working on it for over a dozen years now, and a whole lot of people have been part of it along the way, and so to get all those nominations, it felt like it took a village, and then like a lot of villagers got recognized.
Which is what I remember. So the first time I heard about it, I think you did sort of a performance, not like the musical necessarily, but like an evening-length performance of it at the Rockwood.
Yes, yeah.
And I think Kahane, you told me about that. Gabriel Kahane back there on the keyboards, and he was like, "You've got to check this woman's work out. It's insane." And don't tell Anaïs, he burned a CD of it for me. I have since purchased music of hers.
I'm sorry, Anaïs.
It's okay. You did me a very great favor. But then Anaïs, you came on the road with us. We were talking about. I remember this one time on the bus late at night. We were playing Irish songs or something like that, and you were talking. I remember you saying, "I'm not sure if I'm ever going to be able to stop working on this musical."
Oh, it's true. It's true. But I have to stop for now. I'm actually, I'm not allowed to change anything anymore. The show is locked. It's happening. It's the same every night, and I can't actually make any changes. So that's good.
That's freeing, right? I mean, I think you're doing fine. 14 Tony noms. No change necessary. But we'll do another song. We'll also further liberate you from Hadestown and ask for a song not on the musical.
Yes, yeah, it's exciting to get back to my roots as a regular songwriter. And we're gonna do this one called Dying Day.
mountainside. Every day a dying day, be it work or be it right. Oh, my sweet babe, we come to make a sacrifice. Every day a dying day. Be it ox or be it ram, Father, tell me, please, the God of Abraham. Every day a dying day, be it ox or be it ram. Oh, my sweet babe, it is the blood of the innocent. Every day a dying day. And who are you to understand the ways of him who holds the blade? And who are you to stay the hand of him who made? Yeah. Be it ill or be it good, Father, tell me, makes you bind me hand and foot. Every day a dying day, be it ill or be it good. Oh, my sweet babe, I am doing as I should. Every day a dying day, every day a dying day, every day a dying day.
Ms. Anaïs Mitchell with Dying Day from her record Young Man in America.
Thank you for listening to Live from Here. We'll be right back after a short break at Powell Hall in St. Louis, Missouri.
Live from Here is supported by Progressive Insurance, offering its home quote Explorer so shoppers can evaluate options in one place when buying home insurance. Custom quotes and rates are available online. Learn more at progressive.com. And by the United States Postal Service, offering U.S. postage stamps for purchase at checkout at more than 40,000 participating supermarkets, drugstores, office suppliers, and wholesale clubs. And by Babbel, a European-made language learning program. Babbel teaches practical conversation in Spanish, French, German, and other languages, available in the App Store or online at babbel.com. And by Context Travel, privately guided half to multi-day tours in 60 cities worldwide, led by local experts in art, cuisine, architecture, and more. Context Travel is dedicated to uncovering the DNA of that special place. More at radio.contexttravel.com. And by Hint Water. Hint is still or sparkling water infused with a variety of fruit essences, including watermelon, blackberry, and cherry. No sugar, no sweeteners, no calories. Available in your local grocery store or at drinkhint.com. And by Noom, offering a personalized weight loss program that uses psychology, small goals, and technology designed to help people change habits and keep the weight off for good at Noom, Noom.com. And by Peghead Nation, You can learn to play mandolin, guitar, fiddle, and other acoustic instruments with video courses at pegheadnation.com. No matter your musical skill level, Peghead Nation has lessons for you. Instructor and sign-up information at pegheadnation.com/live. And by Little Passports, a subscription service for kids filled with hands-on activities, souvenirs, and experiments, all designed to spark your child's curiosity in the world around them. Learn more at littlepassports.com/radio. If you have some free time, just go to our website at livefromhere.org, and while you're there, you can learn more about our upcoming shows in Vienna, Virginia, Louisville, Kentucky, Lenox, Mass, and more. You can also see video clips from tonight's show and other recent favorites like Sarah Bareilles, John Baptiste, Jason Isbell, and the Milk Carton Kids. Live from Here is produced by American Public Media.
Welcome back to Live from Here with Chris Thile at Powell Hall in St. Louis, Missouri. Well, you've seen him on Conan, and he has a new comedy special coming out on Comedy Central July 12th entitled Ian Talk. Please welcome Ian Edwards.
How's it going, everybody? Good to be here, good to be here. How's everybody feeling? Good? It's great to be here. So this is my opinion on this matter. If you have seen the Michael Jackson documentary on HBO and you still listen to his music, you are a garbage human being. Now, I, on the other hand, have not seen the documentary. So I can listen to his music guilt-free. I even canceled my HBO subscription just so I don't stumble across it by accident. I grew up on Michael Jackson, and I heard he ruined those kids' childhood. I'm not gonna watch it and have him ruin mine. It's good to be here. I just came back from my homie's intervention. Yeah. Interventions are weird, you know, because it's an unfun event. Which means everybody who shows up there really loves you. Like, you never hear about anybody crashing an intervention. Right? Like, the only reason to crash an intervention is when it's your turn to talk. Hey, Tommy, what's up, player? How you feeling? You good? Since you're gonna be off those drugs, player, can I get the rest of those drugs? I mean, why flush them down the toilet when you could flush them down my throat, you know what I'm saying? It's Earth Day, let's be green, baby. But let's be honest, y'all, drugs are good, right? It gotta be good. Like, there's so much negative publicity about drugs, and people still buy them. That's how good drugs are. Like, there's no other product like this. Like if Ford had a Mustang, and in the commercial they told you it might flip over once you drive it past 40 miles an hour, you'd be like, get the heck out my face, Ford. I'm not buying that death trap. But not drugs, right? Not drugs. Hey man, this could kill you. Give me 3. Hey man, last time you took a hit of this, you lost your job. Give me 5. Forget that job. I didn't like being a cop anyway. Only good thing about it was the drugs. Can you believe they had me driving a dangerous Mustang? Drugs are good, but they can kill you. You gotta exercise, work out, drink your water, take your vitamins, be a responsible drug addict. Drugs are good, but they can kill you. But there's other good things that won't kill you, like sleep. Right? Sleep is amazing. You never heard of anybody dying of sleep. Hey man, you heard about what happened to Johnny? Man, he overslept. I would say rest in peace, but he's already doing that. Apparently, he couldn't handle the high thread sheet count. That's why you gotta know your sleep number. You just can't jump on a stranger's mattress. You don't know how high they set their mattress. I wish I could die in my sleep. That's like the dream way to die. You know, do you just sleep right through? Or do you wake up and then go back to sleep? I'll take it either way. Like, sleep is my jam. How many sleepers we got out here? Oh, yeah. Yes. Whoever invented waking up ruined my life. Like, sleep is the best. You ever been woken up? Huh? It's traumatic. Somebody wakes you up. Feels like they just try to reverse drown you. You look at them as if they just betrayed you. What is this, Game of Thrones? The only humane way to wake somebody up is with the smell of breakfast. Right? Right? An alarm clock that smells like bacon and eggs. And I'm vegan, and I'm telling you this. You ever been woken up by breakfast? Oh, it's beautiful. Like, It's 3 p.m. in the morning. I'm only 5 hours late for work. Today is gonna be an amazing day. I sleep a lot, man. I got fired from my job for waking up too late to call in sick and lie that I wasn't gonna be able to make it to work. I was like, yeah, man, I'm not gonna be able to make it today. They're like, idiot, that was yesterday. You haven't worked here in weeks. We fired you a month ago. Stop calling in here. Oh, great, I don't have to come in today then, that's perfect. I got friends who are worried about how much I sleep. They're, hey man, you sleep a lot. I'm like, dude, you're a drug addict. This is your intervention, Tommy. Don't try to turn this around. Like, you know you sleep a lot when this is the thing that I hear the most. Like, hey man, you're gonna sleep your life away. You ever hear that? People ever tell you that? I'm like, oh yeah? What about all the people who die while they're awake every day? Like, do you watch the news? Everybody who dies on the news was doing some awake stuff. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, being awake is the leading cause of death. I'm going back to sleep where it's safe. Maybe you'll be here when I wake up. Maybe you won't. Good luck. I'm serious, man. I don't mess with people who wake me up. I haven't spoken to my mom since I was 3. All right, that's my time. My name is Ian Edwards. Thank you, all.
Ian Edwards. Well, it has been a hell of a week for musicians' birthdays, beginning with a legend of the stage, the studio, and the screen, Peggy Lee. Peggy Lee. Like so many truly great singers, she got her start on radio, KOVC in North Dakota. You may know her from hits like Fever, or, if you're like me, from the beloved Disney cartoon Lady and the Tramp.
What a dog. What a dog. He's a tramp, but they love him. Breaks a new heart every day. He's a tramp, they adore him, and I only hope he'll stay that way. He's a tramp, he's a scoundrel, he's a rounder, he's a cat. He's a tramp, but I love him. Yes, even I have got it pretty bad. You can never tell when he'll show up. He gives you plenty of trouble. I guess he's just a no-count pup. But I wish that he were a double. He's a tramp. He's a rover, and there's nothing more to say. If he's a tramp, he's a good one, and I wish that I could travel his way. I wish that I could travel his way. I wish that I could travel his way.
Miss Rachael Price, Chris Eldridge, and Gabe Kahane on canine backing vocals, which brings us to an Austrian classical prodigy who moved to the US in 1934 to avoid the Nazis and ended up becoming one of the founders of Hollywood film music. You may tune. I'm talking about Eric Korngold. Yeah. Gemma, what can you tell me about Eric Korngold?
Well, I can tell you that this very special violin concerto was first performed by the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra and Jascha Heifetz.
Oh my goodness. Heifetz. I've heard of him. Well, let's hear it. Oh, who needs Yasha Heifetz when you have Celeste Goldenboyer? And the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. Hey, we get to honor a birthday queen this week, Ms. Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill. Few debut solo albums make waves like hers did, not to mention her work in the Fugees, of course, and she was also awesome in Sister Act, too. Here is Rachel Price with X Factor from the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
It could all be so simple, but you'd rather make it hard. Loving you is like a battle, and we both end up with scars. Tell me who I have to be. Get some reciprocity. See, no one loves you more than me, and no one ever will. No matter how I think we grow, you always seem to let me know it ain't working. It ain't working. No, it ain't working. It ain't working. And when I try to walk away, you hurt yourself to make me stay. This is crazy. This is crazy. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. I keep letting you back in. How can I explain myself? As painful as this thing has been, I just can't be here with no one else. See, I know what we've got to do. You let go, and I let go too. 'Cause no one's hurt me more than you, and no one ever will. Care for me, I know you care for me, there for me, there for me. Said you'd be there for me, cry for me. You said you'd die for me, give to me, give to me. Why won't you live for me, care for me, care for me? You said you care for me, there for me, there for me. Said you'd be there for me, cry for me, cry for me. You said you'd die for me, give to me, give to me. Why won't you live for me, care for me, care for me?
One more time for Rachel Price. Happy birthday, Miss Lauryn Hill. And we'll polish off this birthday segment with Paul Brady. Paul Brady. There isn't a person alive that I would rather hear sing and play a song than Paul. If you don't know his work, I urge you to get yourself a copy of Andy Irvine and Paul Brady, which is a musical compass for a lot of us on this stage. Much like the Addis earlier, probably start downloading this one right now as you listen to our approximation of Paul's transcendent version of Mary and the Soldier from that record.
Come all ye lads of higher renown, that will hear of a fair young maiden, and sheer of doubt on a sunless day, for to view the soldiers parading. They march so bold and they look so gay, the colours flying and the bands did play. And it caused young Mary for to say, I'll wed you, me gallant soldier. She viewed the soldiers on parade, and as they stood at their leisure, and Mary to herself did say,
At last I found my treasure, but oh, how cruel me parents must be to banish my darling so far from me. Well, I'll leave them all and I'll go with thee, me bold, undaunted soldier. Oh, Mary dear, your parents' love, I pray don't be unruly, for when you've in a foreign land, believe me, you'll rue it surely. Perhaps in battle I might fall from a shot from an angry cannonball. And you so far from your daddy's hall, be advised by a gallant soldier. I have 50 guineas in bright gold, likewise a heart that's bolder, and I leave them all and I'll go with you, me bold, undaunted soldier. But don't say no, let me go, and I will face the daring foe, and we'll march together to and fro, and I'll wed you, my gallant soldier. Saw her loyalty and Mary so true-hearted, he said, me darling, married we'll be, and nothing but death will part us. And when you're in a foreign land, I'll guard you, darling, with my right hand, in hopes that God might stand a friend to Mary and her gallant soldier. Chris Eldridge on the guitar, Mr. Alex Hargraves on the fiddle. Happy birthday, Paul, we love you. Happy birthday, all you brilliant musicians out there. And please welcome back to the stage the Live From Here radio players. Everyone in the world knows the city of St. Louis by its rich reputation. But who was St. Louis, the namesake of this great city? Here's Serena Brooke with a short biography of St. Louis that she found in a dusty old religious book.
A reading from the Book of Saints. St. Louis, or Louis to those who pretended to know him better than they did, is the patron saint of heavenly ribs, known in his time for being a friend to all animals that don't have delicious, delicious ribs. St. Louis had a special affinity for cardinals. He loved those red birds and seemed just a bit more knowledgeable in his fandom than other saints were about animals they liked. A talented musician in his spare time, St. Louis laid down the musical foundations for what would become ragtime, blues, and jazz. Tragically, St. Louis was martyred at the hands of an angry mob after he sliced a bagel in honestly kind of a really weird way. In the year of our Lord 2002, St. Louis appeared as a vision to millions of people worldwide in what turned out to be a public relations stunt to boost Nelly's follow-up to Country Grammar. As was God's will, the single, Hot in Here, went on to chart at #1 for 7 weeks that summer. St. Louis was canonized in the 17th century for his many miracles, including taking in an orphaned ram, raising it to be a Super Bowl winner, and then selflessly giving it away to someone wealthier at the first sign of sickness. And truly, who needs them anyway when we have the cards and the blues?
Serena, I think they didn't like the sketch. Oh, right, no, the hockey team, right. The blues. Got it, okay. Normally we go to an instrumental break here, but this week we're dedicating the slot to the memory of the great Doris Day. Doris Day passed away recently at the age of 93, and we have Rachael Price here to sing a tune in her honor. Rachael, you are a huge Doris Day fan, yes?
Oh, yes. I am a huge Doris Day fan. When I was about 8 years old, I used to wake up before anyone else in the house so I could put on a VHS tape of one of my favorite Doris Day musicals, which is called The Lullaby of Broadway. And I would get up early to do this because I wanted to sing and dance and completely mimic Doris Day entirely. I wanted to be Doris Day so much as a child. So I'd love to do Lullaby of Broadway in her honor.
Rachael, tonight, by the power of St. Louis, you are Doris Day.
Come on along and listen to the lullaby of Broadway, the hip hooray and ballyhoo, the lullaby of Broadway, the rumble of the subway train, the rattle of the taxis, the daffodils who entertain at Angelo's and Maxie's when the Broadway baby says goodnight. It's early in the morning. Manhattan babies don't sleep tight until the dawn. Goodbye, baby. Good night. The milkman's on his way. Sleep tight, baby. Sleep tight. Let's call it a day.
You're listening to Live from Here with Chris Thile.
And everyone goes crazy. You rock-a-bye your baby round till everything gets hazy. Hush-a-bye, I'll buy you a this and that. You hear daddy saying a baby goes home to her flat to sleep all day. Good night, baby. Good night. The milkman's on his way. Sleep tight, baby. Sleep tight. Let's call it a day. Listen to the lullaby
Rachel Price as Doris Day. We miss you, Doris. Welcome back to Live from Here, and welcome back the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. If you're just tuning in, that was the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra performing The Enchanted Garden from Maurice Ravel's Mother Goose Suite. Oh, and now this. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, Mr. Blackburn, the anesthesia is going to kick in here in just a second, and then we're going to take you into surgery. I'll give you a moment with your daughter.
Dad, I'll be right here when you get out, okay?
Meredith, I want to tell you something, in case we don't see each other again.
Dad, don't say that. It's gonna be fine.
No, Pumpkin, no, let me talk while we still have time.
Oh, boy.
A surgery like this really puts things into perspective, you know? I mean, I wish I'd kissed Emmeline Humphreys under the old oak tree. She tried to kiss me. I wish I'd kissed her back.
Dad.
I hate celery. It's not a snack. I wish I'd had barbecue every gosh darn day. I wish I'd ordered Texas toast on the side of everything. I wish I hadn't done sales. I always wanted to work in construction and labor with my fellow man in the hot sun, using my muscles to build something I could appreciate at the end of the day. I wish I'd told my mother I loved her more. I also wish I'd told her to shut up more. I wish I'd taken extra from the salad bar, even though it wasn't allowed. I wish I'd read the classics like Homer and Huck Finn. I always told people I read them. I should have just read them.
Dad.
I wish I'd brought fresh flowers home from the grocery store for your mom. I always saw them there by the checkout. Why didn't I just grab them? It would have meant so much to her. And they're $4.99. I could have afforded $4.99. But I always said, why pay for something that's gonna die in a week? But $4.99, why not make her happy? I wish I'd tipped the mailman at Christmas. I wish I'd had somebody else do my taxes. Why didn't I bowl more? I should have bowled more.
Dad.
What?
You are having a mole removed.
All right, Mr. Blackburn, you ready, sir?
I gotta make some changes.
You got time.
And now, welcome back to the airwaves, Anaïs Mitchell.
Oh, mother shelter, a mother is a shelterer. Oh, mother shelter, mother shelter us from the wild winds howling. The Father is a shepherder. Oh, Father, shepherd, Father, shepherd us from the wild wolves howling. Your cities are a wilderland. Look upon your children. Your cities are a wilderland. Look upon your highways are a wilderland. Look upon your children. Your highways are a wilderland. Look upon your children. Wandering in the wilderland. Look upon your children. Wandering in the woods. My mother gave a mighty shout. opened her legs and let me out. Hungry as a prairie dog, young man in America, young man in America. Hungry, hungry, running every which way, young man in America. I come out like a cannonball, come of age of alcohol, raving in a field of rye, with a black and a roving eye, black and a roving eye. Ravenous, ravenous, what you got is not enough, young man in America. Oh, shelter, mother shelter, mother shelter us. Ooh, my father was a lord of land. My daddy was a repo man. Put me out onto the streets. Didn't give a damn for me. Did not give a damn. Daddy, daddy, gonna wish you never had me. I'm a young man. I'm growing right before your eyes. I might grow to such a size, blowing like a hurricane. Everyone will know my name. Everyone will know my name. I'm blowing up, shadow on the mountaintop, young man in America. Oh, shepherd, father shepherd, father shepherd us. Ooh, in my feathers and furs, clothes of many colors, many men will envy me when I'm in my finery, me and my finery. Envy me, spending all of my bright money, young man in America. Maybe I'll climb the stairs with a girl with golden hair, hold her like a sword and shield, up against this lonely world, up against the world. It's a lonely, lonely world for a yellow-headed girl and a young man. Like the wind, I make my moan, a howl in the canyon. There's a hollow in my bones. Make me cry and carry on. Make the foam fly from my tongue. Make me want what I want. Another wayward sun, waiting on oblivion, waiting on a kingdom come to meet me in my sin, waiting to be born again. Mother, kiss me cheek and chin. A little medicine, and then I'll shed my skin and let me climb back in the bed you made me in.
One more time, Anaïs Mitchell. Riverland, and the title track from her record, Young Man in America. You're free to tune back there. It has been such a treat to broadcast our show this evening from Powell Hall, home to the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. I first got to know this orchestra through their recording of Barber's works with Leonard Slatkin. They are the second oldest orchestra in the U.S., and Time magazine calls them America's Orchestra. We're going to perform the third movement of Barber's Violin Concerto. It'll be the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra and perhaps the most nerve-wracked mandolinist you've ever seen in your life. of the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. That's our show from Powell Hall in St. Louis, Missouri.
Live from Here is produced by American Public Media. Thank you to our special guests, Rachael Price, Ian Edwards, Anaïs Mitchell, and the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. Our Live from Here actors and writers are Holly Laurent, Greg Hess, Mike Yard, and me, Serena Brooke, Katie Rich, Patrick Clare, and head writer Tom Papa. Thanks to our house band with musical director Mike Elizondo. Thanks to our creative director Joey Ryan. A big thanks to the staff of Live from Here: Deborah Beck, Todd Behrens, Rochelle Ben-Lulu Dubin, Teresa Burgess, Tom Campbell, Jason Colton, Dave Harris, John David Hatch, Christy Healy, Jeffy Nilica, Sam Hudson, Janice Kaiser, Ben Miller, Emerald O'Brien, Amber Robertson, Thomas Schweitzer, Catherine Slusher, Noah Smith, Albert Webster, and Adam Zepp. Thanks to the staff of Powell Hall, and a special thanks to the members of St. Louis Public Radio. Tune in next week for a show from Wolf Trap in Vienna, Virginia, with guests Guster, Adia Victoria, and Matt Bronger. Tickets for that show and others at Louisville, Kentucky, Lenox, Massachusetts, and Sonoma County are all at livefromhere.org.
Live from Here is supported by One Drop, the all-in-one solution for people with diabetes. Supplies are home delivered and personal coaches help lower blood sugars. More at getonedrop.com. And by Hint Water. Hint is water infused with fruit essences, including watermelon and blackberry. No sugar, no sweeteners, no calories. Available in grocery stores. Hint mouth-watering water. Thanks for listening.
American Public Media.